3 secrets that took me to a 4.0 GPA as a freshman. Last semester I was a freshman and I got a 4.0 GPA and it was amazing. I was so proud of myself. I was like the hot shit. I was on the president list, and it's like kind of list from the school, which is, you see your name there. It was amazing, guys. I'm telling you, I was very happy because when the semester started, I had this goal. I wanted to prove to myself that I'm capable of doing this, and I did it. My family, my friends were so proud of me, and I just felt, looking at them and seeing their emotions in their eyes and everything like that, I felt that, I'm on the right path. And they even bought me a cake to celebrate. So what we're talking about here. So I'm telling you, if in the second semester I got a 4.0, I was proud of myself and all that. In the first semester, it was exactly the opposite. I got a 3.64 GPA, which is ass, it's really bad, especially for the first semester. But I didn't have these lessons, that I'm about to teach you. I didn't have the experience. I didn't know what to expect, and it took me by surprise. And I wasn't prepared, I did some mistakes. I let myself down. I was disappointed of me, I was disappointed of what I did, and it felt really bad, actually. So that's why I'm here, and I want to share with you 3 lessons that I wish I knew earlier so that I didn't do those mistakes when I first started. The first lesson that I want to give you, and I want to start asking you a question. When you play a video game, how do you get good at playing the video game? Are you playing it like once a week for 1 hour? You're not really focused on the game, Are you playing it like once a month, or I don't know, once every 6 months? Probably not. The secret to becoming good at a video game is that you need to do it consistently, and you need to put in the hours and your focus every single day. Doesn't matter if it's 1 hour, if it's more than that. Probably it's more than that because video games are addictive. But the formula behind getting good at video game, having a certain skill, becoming a top player, whatever you want to call it, it's to be consistent with it and put in the hours every single day. Now that's how it works for video game. But we want to be productive, we want to do something good, and we want to apply this principle to getting good grades. So one of the things that I did wrong when I was first in college in the first semester is that I didn't do it consistently. So let's say I will learn on Monday, but then I would take a break for Tuesday and Wednesday and get back to learning on Thursday, which is a shitty strategy. It's very bad strategy, and I don't want you to do those mistakes again, right? So what did I do differently in the second semester is that I had this schedule. So I used to wake up at 5 a.m. each and every single morning, do my morning routine, and then my classes would usually start at 8 in some of the days, then at 12 in the morning. And I had a block of time. In some days I would have like 2-3 hours, in other days I would have like even 6 hours just learning. Of course I wouldn't learn for 6 hours, I wouldn't do that, but those 2-3 hours consistently learning from 5 to, let's say, 7 a.m., from 5 to 8-9 a.m., those actually changed my direction, because each and every single day I would have those block of of learning, consistently learning, which made me I didn't have to study for 6 hours straight. I would have just to study 2-3 hours every single day, even in the weekends, of course. And it was great. I'm telling you, my grades were higher, my grades were better, and my efficiency was at an all-time high, because I didn't have to spend 6 hours a day learning. I would just put in the work in the morning, and then throughout the day I would have time to spend with friends, to go to the gym, and all of those things that we want to have, because we want to also get a life when we're doing all this stuff. Because grades by themselves are not going to make you a superhero, they're not going to make you a better person. Yeah, it's important to have, but it's the minimum thing. Getting a 4.0 is like the minimum requirement for having a great life. So what I want you to do is I want you to have a calendar and make sure you are going to track your studying times. So for example, if you study 2-3 hours in the morning like I did, or maybe in the afternoon, make sure the same block of time each and every single day of the week, at least, if you don't want to study in the weekend, which I think you could do that because it helps you and it helps the learning curve, because you're always going to have things fresh in your mind. You're going to have the information in your mind, and basically it's going to be way easier for you to prepare for tests, for papers, for whatever you want to have to do, right? So that's what I want you to do. Now I'm going to tell you another example, because I really want you to understand how this works. So I guess that most of the people that watch this also probably work out, of course, or go to the gym, one of those things. And it's like working out. If you want to have gains and if you want to have progress, you just gotta go every single day, at least 5 days a week, 1 hour 30 minutes a day, whatever it may be, whatever works for you. So that's how you build, the muscle, that's how you build resistance, that's how you see visible results. The same thing applies to getting grades. Of course, you want to have, of course, for grades, it's going to be a higher amount of time, like I said, 2-3 hours a day, but you're going to have that consistency, which is going to make you have results, I would say, easier and simpler and faster. I would really say that. Now, a disclaimer for you guys who may watch this video and say that, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to stick to my calendar because I'm not a guy who follows routine, or I don't like that, I'm not gonna do that, it's cringe, whatever. I'm telling you, if you do those things, I promise you, this is such an advantage. A lot of people heard about calendars and having a specific time of blocks and all this time management. People are not really doing it. I'm telling you, because I've talked with people, and this is such a big advantage. I really want you to take advantage of this, alright? Of course, you're not gonna have a streak for a month. You're not gonna do it because life happens. You're gonna have maybe some events you wanna go, or an emergency you have to attend, and it happens. But I want you to aim higher, because I don't want you to win at 30% of your potential. I would rather have you fail at 80% than win at 30%. Now, I'm not saying to set impossible goals. Of course, we don't want to do that. I want you to always be at your edge. I want you to always push yourself even more and even more, because that's how the gains, even in the gym, but also in the grades section. This is how you get better grades. This is how you become more efficient, more effective, and more performant in everything that you do. But because we're speaking about getting a 4.0 GPA here, this is how you have to do it. Track it in a calendar, have like a block of 2-3 hours a day where you just only study. Now, there's gonna be some days when you're not gonna study for 2-3 hours, but at least you're gonna study for half an hour, which, for example, if you had just a block of 30 minutes a day and there's a day where you're feeling bored or tired and you don't wanna study, you're not gonna study at all. So I want you every single day to study, no matter what happens, even, for, let's say, 1 hour, 30 minutes, if you don't wanna do the whole 3-hour block. Just a quick note before moving forward, I have a community, first link in the description. If you join and you become a founding member, the next 7 members are going to become founding members. You're going to have 1 month of accountability from me on the group. I'm going to help you with all of your needs. I'm going to make strategies exactly tailored to your needs so you can succeed. And also, there's going to be courses and maybe a lot of life calls. There's going to be a lot of resources for you to use. Now, I want to specify this. Next 7 members get 1 month accountability from me so you can achieve your goals. Check the first link in the description, my school community, and I'll see you inside. The second lesson I want to share with you is waking up early. Now, I used to preach this a lot, so you probably heard this a lot of times from me. You're gonna hear it a lot of times from me even further, but you gotta have this embedded into your identity. For every single person, waking up early means different things. For me, it means waking up at 5 a.m. every single morning. But for some people, waking up early might mean 8 a.m., might mean 7 a.m. And that's not an issue, right? Let's say you have classes at 12 in the morning. Even if you wake up at 7 a.m. in the morning, you still have 4 or 5 hours in which you can learn, which you can do your routines, which you can prepare for school. So that's perfectly fine. You have to have like some kind of schedule, which already ties back to the first lesson that I told you. Having a schedule is very important. As I told you, I had that specific block of learning after I woke up every single time in the morning. But in the first semester, when I also knew this principle, I didn't do it daily. And I kind of sabotaged myself because I had poor results in the end. So what I want you to do, I want you to understand this very clearly. I want you to set in your calendar a bedtime. I want you to go to sleep at, 9, 10, depends on when you want to wake up. For me, it works better if I sleep like 8.5 hours, For you, it might be 7. For you, it might be 9. That depends on your person, right? So I want you to set your bedtime, and I also want you to set your wake up time. This may be, as I told you, for me, it's 5 a.m. For you, it may be 6 a.m., 7 a.m. Doesn't matter, As long as you are doing it consistently, it's going to help you. Wake up every single day. For example, you wake up at 6 a.m., then you go maybe take a shower, whatever, and then go directly into studying. I found that learning first thing in the morning works better for you because you didn't eat, which means your brain is fully maximized. It's sharp and it's fully maximized for you to focus on your learning. Because when you eat, especially when you eat carbs and other processed foods, it's going to take a lot of your energy just to digest the food, and you're going to be stupider, all right? If possible, study first thing in the morning, so do not eat because it's going to make you stupid. Then do not check your phone because as well it's going to make you stupid. Just make sure that you leave on your desk maybe the past papers that you want to work on, the homework, or maybe you leave your laptop open with the assignment that you need to complete, and that's the first thing. After you take a shower, you drink some water, that's the first thing that you do, and you do it for 2-3 hours. and then the rest of the day is going to be free so you can get a life. And the last lesson that I want to share with you is very important, and I'm telling you this because a lot of people don't really talk about this, and I didn't knew this concept a while ago. That's why I failed in the first semester. I got a 3.6 GPA instead of getting that 4.0 that I got in the semester. And I want to tell you this because I promise you, there's one thing you're gonna get out of this video. It should be this thing, because no one really talks about this, and it's such a big advantage. It's going to basically change your life. So I'm talking about choosing the fun classes. Now, I don't know how you choose your classes, how you may be instructed to choose your classes, but I found out that most of the people which I talked with, and even my academic advisors, they only want to make sure you're filling out the requirements. They don't care about your passion, they don't care about you, because frankly, they work with a lot of people. Most of them are not really enjoying what they do, so they're just doing the minimum effort. That's why I want to make sure that you choose your fun classes. Because let me tell you a story. It was first semester in my freshman year, and I had to choose my science classes. And guess what? I didn't choose geology because I like more geography and all this stuff. I chose biology because I thought it's gonna be easier. You know, I had this concept in my mind that biology is gonna be easier for me and it's gonna require less effort for me to get a good grade. But guess what? It wasn't. You know, it was actually the opposite. I'm telling you, every single time I went to my biology class, it was 3 p.m. in the afternoon. After 10 minutes, I would put my head down and I would sleep there. Even my colleagues there would see that and make fun of me, because I don't think there was a single time where it was Monday and Wednesday where at 3 p.m. I would go there, I would put my head on the table and I would sleep for 20-30 minutes, because I was so not interested in the topic. And because of that, my brain knew that, you know, I tried to force myself. I was using these stupid techniques and all the stuff to make sure that I don't fall asleep. But guess what? I couldn't lie to my brain. I couldn't lie to myself, and it was 10 times harder for me to get a good grade. In the end, I didn't get a good grade because I didn't choose the fun classes. You know, I tried to convince myself to take the easy path, which was in the end the hardest path. And everyone around me knew that I hated biology. I don't want to be mean. It wasn't a really interesting class at all. You know, it wasn't for me. But when I discovered this concept, which I applied in the second semester and even now in my following years, is that you gotta choose the fun classes, because it's gonna make your life 10 times easier, more enjoyable, and you're gonna also learn a lot more stuff. For example, right now I'm taking a management class and I love it. You know, the worst thing about that management class is that it's only once a week and it's 2 hours. I would go to that class every single day of the week for 2 hours. I would study more for that class. I would learn more from that class. I would, you know, put more energy in that class because I love it. I like it a lot. I like my colleagues there, I like my professor, I like what we're learning, and it's way fun, and it's also more effective and efficient for my output. And also there's one thing that I want to add here. You know, when you go into classes that you like, when you spend time with people that are like-minded like you, there's such a big energy in the class. I don't know, you just feel it. It kind of flows through you, and it gives you energy to learn. It gives you energy to come with new ideas. It gives you energy to become a better and happier person. So I'm telling you, when I was in the bio class, which I didn't like, I chose that because I thought it was going to be easier. It was easier to check out the requirements and all that stuff. You know, it wasn't. I want to tell you this. Make sure that whenever you do something, activities, clubs, specifically here for grades, make sure you choose the right classes. Make sure you also choose the nice professors. You know, make sure you talk with people who had them before. You don't always have the possibility to choose the right professor, but make sure you put in the effort to do that, because it pays off. You know, it did for me, and I'm very sure, I can be certain that it's going to work for you as well. If you want more content like this, if you want specified courses, and if you want 1 month of accountability coaching from me, first thing in the description is my school community. If you go now and you enter now, you become a founding members. First 7 members are founding members, and they will receive 1 month of coaching with me, and also access for life to the whole courses, modules that are there, the community and everything like that. So make sure you join there, first link in the description, and I'll see you inside. And if you're still here, I want to thank you for watching this entire video, and I also want to thank you for having the attention span to be present here and take notes. If you don't take action on what I'm about to tell you, you just wasted 20 minutes of your time. This could be like any other random Mr. Beast video where you just watch and you get entertained. I don't want to do that. I want to make sure that I leave you with some information. So that's why I'm going to have 3 action points that I want you to do after this video to make sure you make progress and to make sure your time is valuable, because my time is valuable, and I want to instigate that mindset to you as well. So there's 3 things that I want you to do, and please do them. Number one is to set up a schedule. Maybe some of you have this already because it's a very popular thing, but a lot of you don't follow that. So that's why I want you to make sure you set up a schedule. It's a very simple schedule. Put only your bedtime, wake up time, and also a block of learning. Of course, you can have your classes and everything, but there's two things that I want you to put there immediately. I want you to put your bedtime, waking up time, and also I want you to have that daily block of learning. Second thing, I want you to make sure that you're going to be consistent with it. I want you to make sure that you're going to put it on your wall to check boxes. First check box is wake up, go to sleep, same time. Second check box, study. I want you to do that, all right? And even if you're not going to be able to wake up, let's say instead of 6 you're going to wake up at 6:30, still check the box, right? I want you to make sure you're going to do your best to wake up at the same time, to respect your schedule. Same thing goes for the second check box. For at least 30 minutes a day, check the check box and you're good to go. If there's one thing I want you to take from this video, which is going to make your life 10 times easier, because it's directly correlated with the things that you have to learn, is choose the fun classes. Make sure you choose the topics that make you interested. Make sure you choose the topics that, you know, drag you towards them. And also make sure that when you have those fun classes, you're going to do your best to accumulate as many information and as many experiences from it. So yeah, of course, if you want to become a founding member of my community, first 7 members get a month of coaching from me, plus all the bonus modules and instructions that are going to be here just for the next 7 members. You know, this, all the operation that I'm doing here, I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to make sure that I have a plan for you specified for your needs. First 7 members, 1 month of coaching, plus the whole community thing that you're going to have for life. I hope you're going to actually put into practice what I taught you here. And finally, there's one thing that I want you guys to know. Win your mornings and conquer your grades.